All right, welcome to Podcast Heroes, Week 2. We actually managed to make it a second week, Impressive, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, we're your host. I'm Billy.
Bentley.
And I'm Aaron.
All right, guys, how was your week in Heroes of the Storm so far?
It was good.
Yeah.
I've almost got the Brightwing Master Skin.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, it was interesting. I branched out, played a lot of Tyrande, as you guys saw. Got some pretty nice stuns in.
Tyrannid?
Really liked her.
Are we still having this argument? Tyrannid, Tyrande?
Tyranids are the enemy race in Warhammer.
I mean,
40k.
Yeah.
It's like
Is
Tyranid
it?
alien
Oh, that's
monsters.
right. Yeah, those. That kind of look like, Zagara.
That is not Tyrande.
All right, so it's
But
Tyrande. Is that the official
Tyrande.
ruling of Podcast
I think it's
Heroes of
Tyrande.
Tyrande? Awesome.
And we're right, so.
Well, go figure I'm wrong. All right.
But yeah, she's fun. She's fun. I figured out that you could play her pretty damage heavy and still support your team, which kind of proved, which is going to prove what we're later going to argue about. Actually.
Still didn't matter when I played Sylvanas, though. You still couldn't carry us.
I mean,
'Cause
but
I'm
did
that
you
bad at Sylvanas.
see me solo like Vala and win? Like I just destroyed like their assassins, and I'm like, that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, no, that's very true. That's very true.
Like, come on.
You guys should just really leave Sylvanas to me.
When it comes to me, especially, I've decided I'm not allowed to play anything but warriors and supports from
That's
here on
probably
out.
best for you.
Ever again, because it's just embarrassing when I try something else.
Yeah, I feel the same way about supports, but Tyrande has a little special spot in my heart here right now.
Well, you've been doing good at her.
Yeah.
And really, you guys should just only queue Diablo Tyrande.
Dude, that combo is amazing.
It's
and
a
then
great
whatever you
combo.
bring is just extra DPS.
Yeah, well, hopefully he can
know what's
go
really
on
strong
supports,
is
'cause
Diablo.
I think we've lost every single game we've ever played with him not playing as a support. So
Diablo Tyrande Tychus is dead.
that's a
That was
good
pretty
combo.
intense.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we are talking about some fun stuff today. We got some news, especially the big news being the patch preview that just got released yesterday in a Blizzard Blue post. If I can speak. We got the starter pack was talked about last week. We talked about the official release date of this game, and now
Yes.
we got a starter pack to go along with the game. So we're going to break that down a little bit. We got some metagame discussion going on, as well as an outside the game kind of perspective from a couple of our friends from school who have some strong views on why Heroes of the Storm sucks, and we tell them why they're wrong.
But yeah, we're bad at the game.
It's fine.
Yeah.
They are wrong.
They are wrong.
Yeah.
We got a Sylvanas build featured by Aaron, our Master Skin. That's the word for it. Master Skin Sylvanas player, and then we got our weekly segment of Watch Us Climb. So let's get right to
I've
it.
climbed a lot more than you guys.
You did. You're up
yeah.
to like what rank 30
I'm
now?
out of the 40s.
You're out of the
Jeez.
I'm
40s.
now at the point where it is possible, though I don't like to admit it, to lose rank points, which
When you
I
lose
did
a
for the
game.
first time.
Yeah. No. Hopefully we can all catch up to you and just keep going up. All right. So
Hopefully.
let's talk about this starter pack real quick. Pretty cool idea. It's $19.99. You can buy it on the release date of the
Yes.
game, not open beta. The release date. Inside of it is Zagara, Sonya, Lili, Jaina, and Zeratul. You also get a Ronin Zeratul skin. I think it's his best skin, personally. And then you also get the Golden Tiger Mount. You know, that really, really unique Tiger Mount.
Yeah, the ones that you never see running around ever.
It's interesting that they call it a starter pack, considering that the game is free, and you don't need to pay anything to join. But it is a good starter pack because it starts your collection of heroes.
And I think that's definitely the benefit of it. Once you hop into the game, you only have access to the free week heroes, and that doesn't really let you climb up
agree.
and experience with them.
But speaking of the heroes, I mean, these are not easy heroes to play. To starter pack wise. I mean, Zeratul.
Sonya and Lili aren't too bad.
But like Jaina,
Lili.
isn't
bad.
Jaina hard or like hard to play? And Zeratul
She's
is hard.
categorized as
She's
hard.
definitely
and-
strong.
Yeah.
I mean, these are not like easy characters just to jump in and play. I mean, Zeratul will take time and effort to master. Like him and Nova had this kind of meta game stealth thing that you got to figure out. But like, I don't know. I'm surprised like Diablo isn't in this because when I got the Founders pack, Diablo and Tyrande, which are the amazing combo that we know, were in there, along with this very, unique golden tiger mount.
Yeah,
So-
I think we all actually have the unique, special to the starter pack Tiger Mount, don't we?
Yeah.
I don't have that golden cyber wolf. I didn't buy in.
Oh.
I alphaed in.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have that, but I got the
You're not
Nexus
unique,
bundle.
then. You're not unique.
Oh.
It's officially
Well,
ruled
No,
by
wait. I have the Wonder Billy. We can all agree
Okay,
on
Wonder
if you
Billy.
have the Wonder Billy, you're
Okay.
superior to
best
everyone
mount in the
else.
game.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so, that's a pretty fun idea. Now, let's talk about some issue, though, that people are having with this starter pack. It's the fact that some of us, like, I personally own Sonya. I know Aaron owns Lily, probably a couple of the other ones. I'm sure you have a couple of them.
I own
if not just
Zagara.
one.
I own Zagara.
So,
I own Zagara.
they're not making the starter pack any cheaper for us.
No.
I don't like that, but you can't expect them to do so because it's physical. And what's great about the starter pack is inside of the physical box that you're going to get is going to be cards with the codes for the champions. So you have Zagara, so if you buy it, you get the other 4, and you can give Billy Zagara.
Don't give me Zagara.
Okay. Well, now
But
I'm gonna give
but,
you Zagara.
but it's gifting, and that's really the only way to gift. I almost want to buy it so that I can gift friends who join a champion. I'm curious to see how long, if they'll have an expiration date.
Interesting.
Because when I went to PAX, and I got my cool League skins, they expired after like 2 years or something.
Huh.
And then in later years, they started having it expire after like a week, so that you couldn't sell it online.
Right, because I remember you giving me one of those, being like, you need to go put this in now, otherwise it's going to expire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. It'd also be interesting to see what kind of market this creates online. See what people are going to start selling these for.
I'm sure people are already selling their accounts.
Really?
Oh, we should look. I will let you know
Interesting.
next week.
Yeah, we'll do some Googling for you,
There you go,
in
stay
case you're
tuned.
incapable of doing that for yourself. But yeah, like Aaron said, that's the only way we can gift in this game right now is by giving the physical code that's going to be in the starter pack. Like right now, in the game, in the shop, there's no way to gift. Do you guys think that needs to change?
I think
Oh,
it will definitely change.
It will change.
It's been an overhaul for all of Blizzard because you think about World of Warcraft introducing like what I can't remember the name, WoW token.
Oh yeah, like
You
the
know what
way
I'm
so that
talking
you can
about?
actually pay
You
for the
can
game
buy
by
time.
buying and yeah,
Right.
okay, kind of
Uh,
like what EVE Online does.
Or Terra, yeah.
Or Terra.
But
Okay.
you can also add money to your account, and really that's just what they need to do is have an easier way to get or gift gold.
Right.
in-game.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So instead of gifting like a champion, maybe gift gold, or in addition to gifting a
Or in
champion, you
addition,
can gift
yeah.
gold.
I would like to be able to gift every single thing in the game because why wouldn't they? It's another market for them.
Do you think Blizzard will ever do such a thing as you can buy gold with physical doll hairs?
I hope not because
That
that's
would ruin
that's
the
the
game.
thing that makes Master Skins so
No.
tedious.
I mean, and
You
that's
have to grind
right.
that
That's
10K.
arguably what destroyed Diablo's first launch was that marketplace that was the online real marketplace that
It took them 6
You
months
could buy
before they
gold
said
for it.
no,
and
we're
they
not
ended up
doing this
closing it
anymore.
down.
Yeah.
Real money in these games kind of isn't the point. Like, you know what I mean? Using the point is the experience getting to the place.
Yeah, of course. I can recall when Billy started playing the game, and he said, "Man, yeah, I think that I'll play this game, but I don't think I'll ever spend any money on it."
I spent $3.99 to buy a stim pack, and that's all I've spent. So
We will see.
right now. I'm calling Worth, and I'm stopping it there. And we could talk for days about how much money I've spent on things like League of Legends. So let's hope I can maintain this because otherwise I'll just go broke again.
Hey, but that stem pack, was that worth every penny?
Worth every single penny.
Every penny.
It was a time stim pack, 7 days. I only spent maybe 2 days using it. Even.
Wow.
And I went from level 20 to level 30 in that time.
Wow.
As well as got
They're
a
good.
lot of gold for it. So.
I know the recent update gave us a stem pack, right? Like a free automatic one. Or like the most recent update?
So it was something like
I remember having a boost on top of my friend's bonus.
I'm trying to think of what that was. Aaron,
Yeah.
you remember like a few weeks back or whatever, if you hit level X level.
I can't remember the specific level. Maybe 15.
I think 15 sounds right.
I think it's 15, and you get I want to say you get a full week stim pack so that you can. I think they're just trying to get you hooked.
Yeah.
Because then you have a week where you're like, wow, I have a stim pack now. I need to play a lot. And then you play a lot, and then you're like, oh my god, I'm hooked on this game. I need to play more.
It's like, I'm never going to stop.
Yeah, that's true. And the leveling in this game is kind of, it's kind of weird. The spacing is weird. Like 9 to 10 is longer than 1 to 9.
Right. No, that's very true. And
Yeah.
it can get kind of hard to level up.
It's
unless
just like,
you have
I
that
need
stim
this
pack.
much more till that level, but it's just so much.
Right. It doesn't seem like much, but it ends up being a lot.
Wait till you do a master scan. It's really terrible.
No, I don't want to.
I mean, I'm trying. That's
I'm
the
really
goal,
close on
really.
Diablo,
And
and
then-
I'm not looking forward to
And then
it.
afterwards, the rewards at like 11, nothing.
Nothing.
But it takes still something like 5 million experience. And I'm like, what? How do I get nothing for that? But
I
you get,
mean-
and then you get like something like 1,000 gold at 15, which is a 25 million experience. I need to play Sylvanas. What? 150 more times to get
Yeah.
that?
No,
That's
thank
crazy.
You. No, thank you.
That's just more room for Blizzard to add more stuff in. I mean, the
Yeah.
future
And
is going to
they
be cool.
are good. They've changed it recently. They added that in. And they just expanded it to 20 from 10.
Right.
So I think
Yeah.
we can
it's
expect
almost,
that.
like bragging.
But it is crazy right now.
Yeah.
All right, so final verdict. Are you going to buy the starter pack, Bentley?
I will not. No.
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 Aaron, what about you?
How much is it?
$19.99.
I'll probably use it to coerce some people into playing this game with
There
me.
you go.
I'll probably use that 19 and like spend some of it on stem packs instead.
Yeah, you could buy more stem packs.
Exactly, because I already
Does it
spent
come with gold?
Stem packs?
The
or
starter pack.
the starter pack?
It does not say anything about gold.
Because I remember, what's the bundle? Adventurers bundle, starters bundle, something like that.
In game now.
It came with the Warhorse.
Oh.
And a couple champions. I believe early on it gave you some gold to like start the game.
Interesting.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I'm not 100% certain.
All right, well, let's move on then. The patch.
Yes.
The patch. Finally, after seemingly forever, Blizzard is releasing a patch for the game.
Yeah.
What are you... Okay, just general feelings. Let's not talk any specifics. Looking at the patch notes, what are your general feelings?
It's been a while. I know there's an internal push for faster patches.
Right.
I'm glad to see a patch. I'll be curious to see. Do you know how long it was since the last one? 3 weeks? 4
Oh,
weeks?
it's been...
Sylvanas?
I think even longer than that.
When-
Well, I know there was the release of Sylvanas, but I don't think there was a patch
Wasn't
with
there
it,
an
was
8
there?
point? I thought it was an 8.3 patch or something, right?
I have no
Well,
idea what the
anyway,
label is
I know there were
officially,
some hot fixes.
It's
Yeah.
been a while though.
It's been a very long
Everyone
time.
can agree
It's
that
been a
it's been a
while.
while.
But the content in it seems pretty good in this patch.
I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've seen a lot of Diablos and ETCs.
That's true, and that's going to be fixed up. The first thing, though, I want to talk about in this patch before we get to Diablo and ETC, which I think are the two most affected champions by this patch.
Okay.
Let's talk about healing wards.
Yeah.
They're making them easier to kill, in my opinion, by being able to target easier. Because I know right now, if I see it, I'm playing Diablo, or Muradin, or any of those tank champions I love to play. If I see it, my team's healing ward, I just go stand on top of it. Currently, and it makes it harder for the enemy team to hit it.
That's true. Not anymore.
Not anymore. They're prioritizing the targeting of the healing ward to make it easier to kill, so somebody can't stand on
Thank
top
God,
of it.
because on Blackheart's Bay, if the pirate was up, there was a way to position the healing ward such that it cannot be destroyed. You put it under his right arm,
Huh.
and he's kind of doing one of these things with his sword or whatever, or maybe like this, and you put it under this arm, and I was not able, despite clicking every single place on it, to
You
get it.
couldn't get to it. Yeah.
Interesting.
And I was like, come on. Obviously, I'm not trying to attack the pirate.
Yeah.
Let's fix the prioritization here.
But
Yeah.
but on top of like being able to select it, they're giving it more health, scaling up with the level.
And I think that's their kind of way of balancing out the easier targeting, is being able to get it more health as the game goes later on.
Not just that, it's important to note that now it is affected by AoEs, cleaves. So if you throw
That's
it in the
gonna be
middle of a team fight, it's
fight.
gone immediately.
Right.
Yes.
Because somebody's going to cleave it.
You have to be a lot smarter about your placement on the healing.
It's
Yeah.
really... The ideal use for me, for my healing ward, is the team, as a group, retreats, healing wards, takes
Okay.
10 seconds to heal up a little bit, or, the full 15, before charging back in again with, a little bit renewed momentum.
Okay.
Well, what I personally like to do with them is, I know, team fight bushes are everywhere on the map, or fog or anything like that. I always just look for the nearest one and throw my healing ward in there. It doesn't always hit every single member on my team, but it stays alive for the whole duration because the enemy team doesn't look for it.
Mm-hmm.
And that allows you to just throw in that little bit of extra healing. That's what I like to do, and I think that is the strategy we'll start seeing a lot more.
I agree. And especially on Garden of Terror, when you're getting those big tears,
Oh, absolutely.
you just throw a ward in a bush, and then hopefully your tank isn't being dumb and, walking it around, but hopefully its stomp won't get it, but you'll be healing the whole time.
That is a good question. I don't know. Will a neutral monster's
Heal?
AoE
Right now?
damage the healing ward? Not right now, but when it comes out, because right now they're not affected by AoE.
As far as I understand, AoE damage will now affect them.
Yeah,
Well, that'll be fun.
like everything. It's like another thing on, like a minion,
That'll be-
basically.
be something to test out. That's for sure.
So Tassadar can throw down one of his, what's it
Little
called?
pools, Psionic Storm, I think.
One of his psionic storms under it. Just walk away, it'll take care of it.
Right.
It would be interesting if they implemented Sylvanas' possession with healing wards.
Speaking of Sylvanas' possession, the patch did mention they recognize how strong Wailing Arrow is, and that possession really doesn't have a place in the metagame right now, and that we can expect changes.
That's
So
all they
that's-
said, though, was expect changes. What kind of changes do you guys imagine happening to possession in order to
I've had
make
a
it
couple
more
ideas.
relevant? Okay,
I
break them
think,
down.
One of them, it would be great if it possessed 2 smaller minions, and maybe drop the cooldown to 20 seconds on a mercenary, a mercenary or a catapult, because it's almost not worth it to possess one of the mercs, have them fight each other, and stall for 30 seconds,
Yeah.
just so that you can get the other one.
And the one
Really-
barely comes out alive.
Yeah, you always end up killing the other one because, so you never end up with a full camp.
Right.
Interesting.
Or they could, I don't know, make it have some sort of chaining effect.
That's dangerous.
Oh, I know.
That's dangerous. A chain
Yeah.
effect. Well, I mean, we've seen some chains on this game already, and they're pretty dangerous.
We've seen some amazing W's, or what is it, Vorpal Blades out
Yeah.
of Sylvanas that
Oh,
just
yeah.
stretch the entire map.
I don't understand that champion still. So you guys, you guys have all the opinion on that. So they haven't released any specifics on her, of course. They just said expect changes.
Expect
They got that
changes.
little Blizzard tease going on, so it'll be interesting to see what they officially come out with.
But we shouldn't expect a dramatic change because they did point out that she is a balanced hero right now
Right.
with their statistics, with her win-loss.
Her win-loss is
50%.
right around 50%.
Yeah,
right at
yeah.
50%.
She's a really good hero. They're just seeing that this one skill is just not being picked.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, yeah.
Reasonable. I mean, you pick two. You have 2 heroics there. You want at least both of them getting picked 60-30,
Yeah.
or 60-40, 70-30. Not to the staggering rate that Wailing Arrow has taken over.
Yeah.
Compared to
And this game is in
possession.
beta. Like, this is a beta game. It's not done. It's not, I mean, they're still going to have to
Sure.
fix
That's
it
the
up.
interesting thing about video games now is you almost have to claim you're in beta or people are going to destroy you.
Yeah.
And this game is ready. This game is not to me, this game is only in beta from the point of view that they need to release a few more things before they're confident that they can do it every time.
And they're getting there.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Mhm.
All right, so let's talk about some of these other changes. Lost Vikings. They're changing the ultimate to it. I like it. Bentley's kind of hesitant.
Yeah, I mean, I think they don't. I think they're just kind of done in a team fight if they use that. I mean, it's going to have to turn into something of an escape tactic
Well, I think
while
that-
dealing damage.
I think what I've seen from Lost Vikings being played, and I've never even played against the Lost Vikings, nor have had one on my team, but when I watch MLG, when I watch Pro Play, ESL, that kind of stuff, I see the Lost Vikings able to just charge into the middle of the team fight with their, Viking longboat going crazy. And that just doesn't seem fair because once that Viking longboat dies, they're able to just run away.
Especially, they all just run away. Literally, they run away. So I can see how that was an issue before, and this stun is necessary. But we'll see, 1.5 seconds? 1.5
seconds is a long stun.
And if you're expecting that 1.5 seconds, that's key too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see.
I think it's fair. I think that it's really strong, and you have to take down 3 people just to get rid of that one player, and they can do a lot of damage when all 3 of them are there in a team fight. And then I think it is kind of what you're saying. They use it as that escape mechanism, and I've had it so many times where almost all 3 are dead, or the last one is there, and then a boat pops up, and they're all fine, and then that goes away, and then they turn around and kill us all.
Right.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun to see how that goes. I think the big one, the kind of elephant in the room, is Illidan. They basically came out and said, yes, we see Illidan is strong, but he's not the most winningest champion we have. Therefore, we're going to leave him alone. I hated that. I wanted to see some Illidan changes because he drives me nuts to play against. He's very strong. That E of his that lets him dodge. Unfair, in my opinion, that lasts way too long.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Illidan lately, and he is just the more you attack, the more you're going to be jumping around, so he's always doing something.
Right.
I love that they're basically like, you guys are overreacting. The people who are playing Illidan know how to play Illidan. You need to figure out how to deal with Illidan. He's not an outlier. We're not going to,
He's
nerf
just
someone
strong
because you're mad that someone's,
And when you think about it, to me, I think that it's the strong champions are where they want the game to be.
Yeah.
They want everyone to feel strong.
Yeah.
And so the champions, that are a little bit weaker, they want to bring them up to that level. Not take people down.
I still think he needs some changes. He doesn't need anything drastic. It doesn't need to be like a Lost Vikings old change, or it doesn't need to be as wimpy as Sylvanas. It needs to be a good balance in the middle. They need to figure something out. But I can see where they're coming from. They're not saying, it's like he doesn't have such a substantially high win rate that it's really, truly impacting the game. He just annoys the living daylights out of me, and I'd like to see him, brought down just a little bit to make him a little bit easier to play against. Because, we look at Heroes of the Dorm. He had a 100% win rate in the grand finals at Heroes of the Dorm.
Yeah.
Whichever team picked him won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And to me, that says a little overpowered.
Yeah, and especially with a nice support behind him, giving him a nice boost on top of his attack to heal.
Right.
And if you actually build off that, he gets pretty tough to kill being a squishy assassin.
Right.
They also said no changes for Chen.
No changes for Chen.
Murky.
No changes for Murky. I'm okay with both of those. Chen annoys me, but he's a tank. He's supposed to annoy you. It's not like he can... I think if you're at equal level with him, you're not going to be soloed by him. Murky, same way. I don't feel like Murky gets out of control unless he's way stronger than you, which at that point or you ignore him, which at that point is a problem within itself. It's not a Murky problem. It's a game problem.
I feel like Blizzard has had a huge problem with Murky. They can't figure him out.
He's a Murloc. He's useless.
I guess. But when he came out, he was super awesome, overpowered, and then they nerfed him to nothing.
And then he was, if you pick Murky, your team loses.
Yeah.
And then it's
and now he's got a kind of higher win rate again.
Yeah, and then it's come on, out of all the champions here, Murky seems to be the one.
His slime is pretty strong because it stacks a lot.
That's true.
And it can just
And I've seen some sharks that do some damage.
Right. Oh yeah, or pufferfish or whatever they are.
Yeah, and if you don't get out of the way, that's some good damage.
Yeah.
I remember early in Alpha that it used to be chuck a pufferfish over the little hedge wall.
Yeah.
And then just sit there and wait to throw another one and then throw another one. And it did so much damage, you would just wreck their base.
Exactly.
Alright. One I'm excited about, Anubarak. I played him a couple of times during Free Week. I was always distraught by his beetles. They kind of seem to just wander around instead of actually doing something. They say they're going to change that, as well as changing some of his cast time delays.
I didn't understand that.
So, when you were playing Anubarak, sometimes you would try to cast a spell and it would delay, or it
Like it would take him a minute to like do it.
yeah, or it wouldn't register or something like that. I had that problem a couple of times. It would be really annoying if you're trying to throw down. I
Those
believe
spikes.
it's his W,
Yeah.
that does the spikes to
I
knock
hate
people
those.
up.
I hate
You
those.
could miss those so easily, though. And now I feel like they're changing that. Thank God.
So, I bet
I'm really
We're gonna
excited,
see a lot of more boom boom like action going on here.
which will be awesome.
More baboom.
Baboom.
That's correct, Bentley.
And then, oh, sorry, go
They've
ahead.
said for like a few weeks, maybe even like 5 weeks, that they were going to be fixing those beetles. That was like old news. We knew about it, so I'm happy that it's finally here, and I'm sure that
I'm
they did a
happy
good
that
job.
they're putting their what's the expression? Money where their mouth is.
I guess.
I'm very excited for that. Lastly, before we get to the two big ones, Abathur.
Yeah,
Thank God.
that's a big paragraph.
Thank
there.
God. Thank God. They're getting rid of that backdoor. That annoyed the living daylights out of me. Although it was always really funny to watch Aaron do it
Yeah,
whenever he would be playing
But
Abathur.
they increased his stab, and I think what they're trying to tell Abathur players is stop focusing so much on the metagame and trying to do the cool push build that works some of the time,
Yeah.
and get back to where we started, which is focusing on your team and doing a lot of damage. Because
Yeah.
you can do a lot of hero damage if you are attentive, and I think that out of the two builds that we used to see, which was stab build and then the siege backdoor build, we're going to see some good mesh together.
interesting.
And people who, I think, like Ryan is getting a lot better at
Ryan being
another one of our friends,
Yeah.
who's a good Abathur player. He got the Master Skin, which is a tough grind because you have to sit through every single game someone saying, "Oh God, an Abathur."
Yeah, I don't like how Abathur has this bad like stigma behind
Abathur
it.
is definitely ill received in
I
a
mean,
lot
that-
of games.
that-
But
should be.
maybe this will change. Maybe
Mhm.
hopefully this will change them. Time will tell, right?
I
Right.
guess so.
Let's talk about the two big ones. My two favorites, because Warriors are the greatest class in this game. I don't know why you guys play anything but that. ETC first. They're introducing a new storm power called Death Metal.
Oh, that's
Once he once he picks Death Metal, every time he dies, he will cast Mosh Pit. Regardless of what ult he took, he will cast Mosh Pit.
Yeah,
Say that 10 times
Yeah,
fast,
there
right?
you go.
Here's a random Blizzard fact. ETC stands for Elite Tauren Chieftain,
There you go.
if you didn't know.
Fun
you
facts
know.
from Aaron.
Yeah,
folks.
that you probably all already know because you're playing in the beta and you're all nerds already, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
So, what are your guys' thoughts on this?
We're seeing a lot, like I said at the beginning, a lot of ETC Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
So they know. I think it's just a popular pick. I don't think that it's that others aren't viable. I think it's just they're really popular.
Do
right
you think this will make them stronger, or do you think this will just be another vanilla flavor that you can pick?
I don't know. I can't tell. I don't play him enough to know which other talents it's going to be up against. And I
Well,
don't
and,
think
and,
it's
and
set.
that's the thing. Yeah, it doesn't say what talents it's going to be up against. I imagine. I'm speculating personally. It'll be post 10.
Oh, for
because
sure, post 10.
it's not like
13.
they're going to give them Mosh Pit early.
13 or 16.
I would
I
be
think-
surprised if it's like late, before 20s.
I don't think it'll be 20 either because it'll be too weak at that point.
Oh yeah, I know. But
Um,
still, this is a pretty big deal because now he can like charge in there and use the death metal, and then he can die, and that will happen again.
right. Yeah, he
And
can have
that's insane.
essentially 2 Mosh Pits.
That's 2 mosh pits, and it's not because of the damage that's convenient. It's because of the awesome moshing that's
the
going on.
lockdown.
Yeah,
It's going to
exactly.
be a huge lockdown for his team.
Mm-hmm.
And
So-
imagine an Uther and an ETC going on. They're both dead, and they're still contributing
the
a
fight.
lot to the fight, while healing and moshing.
I could see a lot of ETCs forgetting that they took that talent and getting out of position trying to save themselves and then like not getting anyone.
Like dashing away, and then you're like
Mhm.
moshing by yourself.
Right.
Power slide out of the enemy team to save yourself, and then you mosh pit on no one.
Right.
I think that the lesson is going to be just stay in there and die.
That happens. That happens with Tyrael sometimes with new players. I see that they're just running
Oh,
away,
yeah.
and I'm like,
And then you
dude,
die
just
and you're
go.
like, all right.
Go in there.
All right. That sucks.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited for the changes, though. It'll depend incredibly heavily on which set of talents I think it goes into, because it'll depend on what it's going up against as an alternative pick and that kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
What about
But-
the Lord of Terror?
Lord of Terror, Diablo.
Ooh. Oh boy,
I'm not sure how I feel about this.
interesting.
Spell Shield is the one talent I pick every single time I play Diablo.
Do you?
Because I play him as a pure tank.
I was surprised myself.
Yeah, and so I love the fact
I'm
that
terrible at activating it and like using it.
there's no activate to it.
Is it not?
It's just like block, except for spells.
Oh my gosh!
So
That's
it
the best
reduces
spell
the
in the game.
damage done by spells to you.
I'm a noob.
And they're completely replacing it, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. Though,
That
I do
can
have to
counter
say,
Nova.
You still have Stormbolt, right?
that's Muradin. Stormbolt's Muradin.
No. What's the one that you
Bolt
teleport?
of the Storm.
Oh, Bolt of the Storm.
I'm sorry, Bolt
yeah,
of the
no,
Storm.
You're fine. That's level 20. So that's completely different.
Oh.
Yeah, this will be replacing Spell Shield.
Cool.
I think out of all the options to replace Spell Shield, this is a good one because it'll give them more of a team fighting presence. Whereas Spell Shield really helped them kind of evade, escape, or just not take damage purely, while this will replace damage taken.
Yeah.
I think that it will weaken him. But I think it will, and I think that it's necessary.
I wish they had kind of played this like they did with ETC. I wish it had just been another alternative to Spell Shield instead of completely replacing it.
Does he already have 4?
Probably. So I imagine, I mean, I don't know exactly what they could have done. I'm just kind of a little bitter they're taking away my Spell Shield. But
I would really like to see on like, a holiday, them have a third ultimate for like select champions that is only available for like 2 weeks, or some extra talents in every category that you can pick. Like
just kind of
level
change up
1,
some flavor.
Throw a snowball at someone, or like
Oh, like little. Yeah. I think that he's going to be a lot more in the middle. He's going to be in the center of the fight. Because of this, he wants the most AoE.
He wants to be affecting more champions.
And this is going to kind of help. I mean, I'm already thinking of the combos, and of course I'm thinking of Tyrande already. Her Starfall and this, with the stuns and the flips, I mean, this can get bananas.
And I'm excited. I mean, anything they do to Diablo, though, I'll be pumped.
I can just see his health bar just like, like just going back and forth.
ping-ponging.
Yeah.
Well, especially if it takes amplified healing on top of
Exactly.
this, it could be pretty beautiful.
Exactly.
All right, enough about the patch.
All right.
Are we happy about the patch?
I'm happy. I'm really
excited.
I'm happy it's
excited.
coming.
I'm excited they finally
I'm
are
always happy. I'm
releasing
happy
one.
they didn't touch Sylvanas.
Not yet.
Not yet.
They won't. They'll leave her alone. Don't tell me that.
All right, let's talk about some metagame real quick. The topic I want to talk about this week is 2 supports. We see it often, sometimes not often enough. Is it OP? Is it strong? Bentley, let's go to you first.
Yes, it is OP and it is strong and it will increase your chance of winning. I don't say guarantee, but it will increase your chance of winning if they're good supports that know what they're doing.
What makes it so strong?
It's just because they're so versatile. I mean, they can do damage, they can support others while supporting themselves, and they can, I mean, there's just little things. Like, each support character has its own little trait that just contributes a lot more than all the other characters do. Like, Brightwing can teleport to the, any other, ally. Tyrande has, well, her owl isn't one, but her trait is to lower, the enemy,
Make them vulnerable.
Exactly. So
increase damage to them by 25%.
and so everyone is going to be targeting them. Diablo's going to be flipping them, pushing them. That's already a lot of damage. Just supports just help in general.
They definitely add a lot of utility to the game.
Yeah, let's get your opinion. Do you think 2 supports is mandatory, or do you think it's...
I definitely don't think that 2 supports is mandatory. That's just like asking, is going 0-3-2 in Blackheart's Bay mandatory?
Right,
it's not mandatory, but it may help you do better. But to counteract your point, you said it will help you win if the supports know what they're doing. Well, if your team knows what they're doing, period, you can do
It's
any combination
huge help.
of heroes. And that's one great thing about Heroes of the Storm, in contrast to other games, is that there's no strictly defined meta.
Well, yeah, specifically League of Legends has such a huge meta to it.
Same with
And-
Dota.
Yeah, and this really helps kind of counteract that, or
Mhm.
this game does at least. Can a team with 1 support go against a team with 2 supports and win?
I would say
Depends
yes.
on the support.
Let's say they're equal skill, roughly equal skill.
I would say yes, because sometimes it boils down to DPS. I've had one game that we had one assassin, and it was Nova, and no one was dying because she couldn't really kill anyone. We didn't have
herself.
constant DPS.
Right.
We couldn't get him low enough for her to get that last shot in. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But I mean, we were all full health because we had a bunch of warriors and supports. You know, so sometimes it boils down to the other roles. But exactly, that's where a support can maybe go, oh, Tyrande, I might go with my fire arrows instead. A lot more damage with a stun. That helps. That's almost like half of an assassin, I would say.
Alright, so can you guys name 2 champions that are fantastic as solo supports that can almost take the role of 2 supports? If we got, some new-time players out there listening, wanting to know what they can do to help carry their team, what are 2 champions that...
Alright, I have my 2.
Alright, what are your 2?
Uther, Rhaegar.
Okay.
Rhaegar's... people always say that his chain heal is really strong. I don't think it's that strong. I think it's moderate, and I think it's fair considering he has a heal that can fully heal anyone.
Yeah.
Which is insane, because a full heal on Diablo is a lot of health.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's been a pain sometimes. I've seen that actually just make me very mad
Mhm.
when they're almost there and just boom.
And then you just
Green.
didn't expect it, and
Yeah,
you know.
and it's like all my mana just gone.
Gone.
Just
Wasted.
gone.
What are your 2?
I mean, I think I might have already said them, but Brightwing can be basically at 2 places at once if played right. I mean, if you could be at the right place at the right time. I mean, kind of playing like an Abathur almost,
Mhm.
you know. And Abathur's a specialist, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay, but still, I mean, it's basically like an Abathur support almost, like how he can jump around. And then the
It's
other
different.
one,
It's interesting that you point out Abathur and Brightwing being similar, because you notice that in games they tend to always have very high experience contribution, regardless the skill of the player, just because
They can
Abathur
be
doesn't
anyway.
spend time dead,
Mhm.
exactly,
and Brightwing doesn't spend time back.
exactly, yeah. And I don't know about my second one. I mean, I might just go with my favorite girl right now, which is Tyrande, but because she can really.
She doesn't necessarily have a strong heal, but everything else she brings to the fight is really
Her heal
really
is
powerful.
very minute unless you build exactly towards heal, like
Yeah.
healing wards, healing like lower healing the mana, you
Which
know.
takes out a lot of her damage potential.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's all how you play, and it
I would
kinda,
say she's a good second support, like Tassadar.
Tassadar is interesting, but he gives you a shield. It doesn't matter how low your health is, but he gives you just a shield.
shield.
I mean, I don't know. He's another good support another way that you could build into damage. But his wall is still very useful in
Yeah.
multiple maps.
No, if you can time that kind of stuff. So there you have it. 2 supports, very strong. If you have the ability to do it, go ahead. Don't necessarily need to do it though. And there's some supports out there that you can play that could kind of take the place of 2 supports. Some Brightwing, some Rhaegar, Uther. All sounds good to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. So, me and Aaron went to Truman State University, and there's a group on Facebook for this game, for Heroes of the Storm. And just recently, one of our friends on that group posted, "I don't like this game because I can't solo carry."
Wow.
He's referring specifically to League of Legends. He's a big mid player and can often get fed enough in order to carry a game just by himself. What do you guys think about that sentiment? I mean, just real quick, what would you say to this guy as a counter argument?
I would say that that's a naive view that I used to have, and as I became more experienced in how the game goes on and when are the crucial moments, like level 10, level 20, that you need to pay a little bit more attention during the game, and how objectives like camps and coins can dictate the game, and how, if you play Sylvanas on Blackheart's Bay, I think I've already said this before, you can do 70% of the objectives yourself.
You're basically solo carrying on Blackheart's
Mhm.
Bay if you play her the way you. I think you're going to bring her up later. the way that
That's
you're gonna
the
play.
build that I'm
Yeah.
focusing on today. It's
Little
called
sneak peek.
It's called Ignore Everything and Just Get Coins.
Yeah.
All right, and you, what would your one sentence or less even counter argument be?
I would say you can still solo carry, but you're not going to be soloing, and you're going to be carrying your whole team. basically.
Okay.
Because you can solo a lane and, get all the EXP you want, and you can last shot every minion you want, and that will be so satisfying because you're still getting EXP, I guess. Getting all those kills, I mean, I guess that's what he's talking about, right? Solo carrying, getting the most stuff out of all the other players. You can still do that, and your teammates will get better because of that. So,
Absolutely. Well, and I think in the end, this is a team game.
Yep.
This isn't about being able to solo carry. This is about being able to work with your team, get objectives,
And
and
that's
win the game.
why queuing in Hero League with 3 or 4 or 5 people is really the only way to do it in my eyes.
Yeah, very true. All right, next segment, Sylvanas build.
All
We're going to have our Master Skin Sylvanas player break down a quick build for you.
Please.
As he said, ignore everything, get coins
It's
build?
called
Is that what
Ignore Everything and Get the Coins.
All right.
So I'm going to give a little bit of a breakdown if there's a couple that I would have chosen. At the first level, which is level 1, if you aren't on Blackheart's Bay and you're going to focus on doing damage to heroes rather than taking objectives, go ahead and take the With the Wind. But other than that, you're going to want to take Barbed Shot, which is a 300% damage to minions. At level 4, I always take Envenom. I just really like it. I liked having Ignite in League of Legends. I just think it's really strong, and it's a lot of extra damage that you can catch people earlier on with because you can get it at 4.
What are the choices at that, though? Other
Paralysis is...
Because I know Envenom is the last thing you can get.
I don't have them in front of me, but Paralysis is another one that's at that level. And it enables you to solo bruiser camps at a very early level if you're smart, which is to say that you toggle between all of the people and use your black arrow to paralyze every single one and take no damage.
Or easily take any siege camp ever.
Right.
At
If you're not doing that on the siege camps, you're not doing Sylvanas right.
Well, yeah, you can do that level 1s, I guess.
At level 7, I go Life Drain. It's just strong. It doesn't seem strong when you read it, but when you target one minion and it ends up spreading to the entire wave, and then another wave comes up and you get that wave too, you just healed like 500 health. Like a huge amount. You're like back in it. You don't have to go back now.
And with her, you'll need it because she's pretty squishy.
She doesn't have much other healing option.
Yeah.
At 10, they say changes are coming to possession. Until that time, take Wailing Arrow.
Of
the
course.
silence is really strong. At 13, if you're having a problem getting away from people or chasing people down, take Evasive Fire so that you get the extra move speed. If you haven't tried it, go ahead and take it and just do it because it's really fun to be super fast and way faster than everyone.
It's true.
But if you're going to focus on getting the coins and ignoring everyone, get Splinter Shot because you can take down doubloon camps, I think, instantaneously.
Yeah, or just
I
push
think
away.
with a full Q and targeting the opposite one, you're going to just kill both immediately.
Yeah.
At 16, you can take Cold Embrace. I almost would encourage you to, if you're going to go for the vulnerability build, you should take invest in your W a little bit more heavily because it can be really strong. Or take Blood for Blood. It's really strong against tanks. That's that other healing. And then at 20, you can do Deafening Blast and increase the damage in the center of your ult and double the duration of the silence, which is strong.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're going to ignore everyone, you want to go Fury of the Storm because you can take down bruiser camps really fast then.
Yeah.
And then all you do is literally ignore everyone, run around the map, get 20 coins, go turn them in, and generally I've had good luck with being sneaky because your mobility is so high in most maps as Sylvanas.
Yeah.
And it's almost the same meta in, like, Garden of Terror, Haunted Mines, Spiders. I mean, you're picking something up all the time.
The level 1 choice for Sylvanas, that do I want the 25% extra range with the wind, or do I want the 300% damage with Barbed Shot, is a huge decision. And on Garden of Terror and Mines, I'll even find myself taking the Barbed Shot because Sylvanas can clear the mines in half the time as anyone else can with her mobility and the ability to almost instantaneously kill the camps with her barbed shot.
Yeah. All right, so there you go. There's our Sylvanas build, feature of the week. Make some comments about it. Let's hear from you guys.
Tell me how bad I am.
Tell Aaron how bad he is, and explain to him exactly why he sucks.
I'm sure I do.
All right, so last and final segment of the night, going kind of off of the Sylvanas here, is Watch Us Climb. The ranked match we want to feature this week is one we had in Blackheart's Bay. Aaron, you were on Sylvanas, I believe. Bentley, you were playing Illidan, is that right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Illidan. And then I was on, how are we pronouncing the name now? Tyrande?
Tyrande.
I just messed myself up. Dang.
I was playing her. I'll just go with that.
It. Whoa.
It.
Whoa.
And then we also had an ETC and a Nova on our team. I think this was the only game we won that night. We pretty much lost every single thing else.
Yep.
But it was pretty
You're
great.
Talented.
It was pretty awesome. Aaron, of course, highlighting specifically that build he just talked about, was able to take almost all of the camps. They only got like one or maybe two bombardments out of Blackheart's Bay, while we got
I think
as
they got
many
one.
as we could. Yeah,
And we got up to like 20 coins.
yeah, we got up to 20 coins, which is what, 10? I think maybe 5.
That's, I think 5.
Yeah. Which, Blackheart's Bay being the pay-to-win map, quite literally,
Yes.
you can just ignore getting the objectives, focus solely on getting those coins and winning team fights, and then giving the coins to the pirate and letting him just take down all the structures for
And
you.
we were good in that game at doing something that I observed in a lot of pro games, which is taking down the towers and gates
Yeah.
Yes.
before we got the doubloons.
Yeah, so then it could focus
Because
solely
then
on the
it just
forts.
takes out the main structures and doesn't waste all of its shots.
That saves a lot of time.
And they're not hard to kill,
Not-
especially
yeah.
with the Sylvanas. If you haven't tried on Sylvanas, just running in, it's free week, so go do it.
Go do it.
Uh,
I tried it. It was terrible.
And just run in first thing, like leave the base as soon as you can, and just go start wailing on their top tower. Because they won't get there for a while, and you'll have done 25% of the tower will be gone.
Yeah. So there you go. Watch Us Climb. Let's talk about what ranks we are. I'm 48 still, because I haven't been able to play much this past week. Been pretty busy. What about you?
I think I'm still there, 49-ish, 50 still.
And as per usual, I'm about an order of magnitude better than all of you. No, I'm kidding. I'm only level 38, rank 38 or something, but it's just because I was out of commission this week, and I was sitting at home not being sick and playing video games.
Calling in sick to play video games. Is that what you're doing?
That was exactly
Is that why
what
you
I was
watch me
doing.
alone at work?
Mhm.
All right. I understand now. Well, that's all we have this week. Week 2 of the podcast. Pretty exciting week. The patch notes being the big news. Keep an eye out for us next week, next Wednesday, around the same time as we're releasing this. And Aaron, take us out.
Before I take us out, I want to remind everybody to comment on the Reddit or YouTube pages and let us know what you think, if you've got any questions or feedback for us. And as always, thanks for listening to Podcast Heroes, where we podcast about heroes.